During the recent Nintendo Direct, Nintendo showed off a little bit more of Pikmin 3 coming later this year to the Wii U. And although they didn't show much, that's not going to stop us from seeing what secrets the footage might be hiding. But before we start, please make sure to check out our previous analysis from late last year if you haven't already, as we'll be sticking to only the new details here. And with that out of the way, let's get started. So the footage opens up with our first up-close look at the new pink flying Pikmin, called Winged Pikmin, which we first spotted in the E3 footage from last year. But now we can see a lot more about them, such as how their appearance seems closely based on other flying insects with their bug-like eyes and bead-like stripes. But there's something else in this clip that we also haven't seen before. And that's the onion that the winged Pikmin live within when you're not using them out on the field. Now, although we can't see the whole thing, we can tell it's an onion by its similarities to the ones in past games with its tripod-like appearance. And if we look at its shadow, we can even make out the spinning flower that crowns them. And this is actually the first we've seen of the onions of Pikmin 3 at all. But this one does look a little different from the ones in past games, with its golden arched legs that bend instead of the stiff white ones from before. So this probably means one of two things. Either all of the onions have gotten a visual makeover to match this new style, or the Winged Pikmin's one has its own distinct look. But there's something else that's interesting about this, and that's the fact that the Winged Pikmin have their own onion at all. And that's because the last time we had new Pikmin types, being the white and purple ones of Pikmin 2, they didn't actually come with their own onions. Instead, they hung out inside Olimar's ship. And the reason for this was that they weren't really a breed of their own. After all, you couldn't grow them. Instead, you could only convert existing Pikmin into those two colors by tossing them into the purple and white flowers found in caves. And since they couldn't be grown, there was no need for them to have an onion, which is where additional Pikmin spawn from. So this strongly suggests that you'll stumble across the winged Pikmin in their natural habitat, and then grow more of them just like the other main Pikmin, being the red, blue, and yellow ones. And we're pretty sure all of this will apply to the Rock Pikmin that we've seen before as well, especially if the box art is anything to go by. As you can see, every type of Pikmin is represented here, except for the white and purple ones, which as mentioned are the only ones who don't have onions. And it's not like there's not room for them. Look, both the blue and red ones appear twice. Come on guys, you can share the spotlight too. So since the Rock Pikmin do appear here, we're guessing that they'll take residence in the fifth onion. But whether it'll have its own style or resemble the ones that Winged Pikmin have, we have no idea. Okay, we've peeled enough layers away from this onion, let's get back to those Winged Pikmin since we actually get to see them in action. So right off the bat, we can see that they follow the captain around very similarly to other Pikmin, except these guys hover a few inches above the ground. Although it seems it's not quite high enough to keep them out of the enemy's reach. But it does allow them to fly over hazardous terrain, such as the waterway here, making them the only other Pikmin besides the blue ones who are able to cross water safely. In addition, we can also see them carrying objects back to home base. But because they're flying the objects back, we wonder how this will work if you have assigned other non-flying Pikmin to the task as well. Because obviously Pikmin on the ground won't be of much help if they can't reach the object above. Maybe they only fly something back if you only throw Winged Pikmin at it. And perhaps Winged Pikmin might also assist normal Pikmin carry something by flying closer to the ground. In addition, we can tell by looking at the numbers displayed above those objects that the Winged Pikmin will have the same carry strength as all the others, except for the stronger purple ones if they retain their 10 times strength. Now we've already mentioned that the Winged Pikmin aren't immune to attack, as seen by a couple of enemies that take a few of them out. But if we take a look at the Japanese Nintendo Direct footage, which offered a few extended scenes, we can see that they don't always go down like complete chumps. In this clip, we can see the Winged Pikmin automatically fight back against the swooping snitch bug here, all without needing any input from the captain as the cursor is nowhere nearby. And boy do those flying Pikmin know how to get the job done. Geez, what do these guys even need the captain for? But this does suggest that Pikmin might go to even greater lengths to help each other out without needing your input. And by the way, did you notice the dark border around the screen in this scene? What's that about? Seems like it might be an indicator of some kind, but of what, we really have no idea. Now let's take a look at the captain's cursor as it looks different than it has in previous footage. For one, it's pink, matching the Winged Pikmin, and two, it has a number by it that shows how many Winged Pikmin are currently under his control. However, we can see here that as soon as all of the Winged Pikmin leave his direct control, the cursor reverts to the blue one we've seen before. So it seems that it might appear pink to easily show whenever you have Winged Pikmin in your command. And not only that, but the number also appears next to that pink cursor showing exactly how many flying Pikmin are currently following you, as we can clearly see when the Wollywog lands on a bunch of them, causing that number to drop instantly. And both of these attributes appear to be unique to the Winged Pikmin, as the cursor didn't appear to change with any of the other types we've seen in previous footage. And we're guessing this is because the Winged Pikmin are by far the most different of all Pikmin types, being as they're the only ones who don't walk around. And while we're on the topic of the cursor, did you notice it now changes appearance whenever you highlight something that the Pikmin can interact with? It should make it just a little clearer that the Pikmin you're throwing will indeed hit their target. Speaking of targets, the footage shows off a few more returning enemies, as well as a better look at one of the new ones too. Returning wise, we have the Wollywogs and Swooping Snitch Bug that we've already mentioned, but did you notice the Wogpole in the water here, as well as the Water Dumple in the Japanese footage? And finally, we get a better look at the new brown leaf enemy, who seems like a more hostile version of the skitter leaf. And as we pointed out before, he has no trouble snatching Winged Pikmin from out of the air. That poor Pikmin didn't even see it coming. But if you look close, you might notice that the ghost left behind even has little wings too. It would almost be kinda cute if it weren't so morbid. And on that note, we're done covering everything we could dig up on Pikmin 3. As usual, let us know if we missed anything by posting in the comments. Thanks for watching, and make sure to keep an eye on GameXplain.com for more on Pikmin 3 and other things gaming too.